Next story just makes you stop and think. You never know what is happening right in your own community. For the first time, we are taking you inside what federal investigators call a terrorist training camp in North Georgia. Members of a violent neo-Nazi group allegedly plan to start a new civil war.
Yeah, that's right. And they start all that recruiting, a lot of that recruiting right here in Georgia. This is according to the prosecutors. 11 Alive's Ryan Kruger joins us now with that story. And Ryan, you learned several of those accused terrorists made multiple trips to our state.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, one suspect even crossed into the U.S. illegally from Canada, made his way to Floyd County, Georgia, where, according to prosecutors, he spent several weeks practicing military-style drills. This picture was taken less than 6 months ago in rural Floyd County, showing an unknown member of the extremist group The Base practicing for what prosecutors say was a race war.
The fact that something so close to home is certainly alarming, because you would think they would look for a nearby target potentially.
Todd Stein is an expert on homegrown terrorism who worked on the Senate Homeland Security Committee. He analyzed new federal documents detailing the group's plans.
Terrorism is politically motivated violence. There's something they want to advance and do. So there's a strategy behind their training. They're coming together to do something, but then to carry out an attack that advances their agenda somehow.
7 members of The Base were arrested last week, including 3 men from North Georgia. 2 Maryland men and a Canadian national traveled to Georgia in August. Federal prosecutors say these images are part of the group's propaganda. They also found online recruiting tools and flyers. And while the internet is a tool for spreading hate, Stein says it's the face-to-face meetings that happened in Georgia that should have people worried.
One thing we have learned is that people don't radicalize without a face-to-face meeting. They can get started through the internet, right? But they don't actually get to the point where they want to plan and carry out an attack without actually meeting face-to-face.
Now, we have not uncovered any evidence showing the men were planning an attack in Georgia, but a lot of their planning and training, according to investigators, did take place in our state.